What can a video of just a few seconds do? For the Jikook fandom, the answer is everything. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jikook Magic, the place where a single smile, a glance, or even the faintest voice can shake our hearts to the core. A few days ago, our little world was once again set ablaze. Jimin, with his signature warmth and mystery, shared a short video that, at first glance, seemed ordinary, a kitten being gently stroked. But as we already know, nothing is ever truly ordinary when it comes to Jimin. Because hidden beneath the calmness of the video was something deeper, Jungkook's voice. Soft, sincere, and intimate. A simple sentence he spoke made millions of hearts skip a beat. And just like that, questions started pouring in. Were they together? Was this a new moment? Was this a hidden clue? Today, we're going to unravel every layer of that moment. Not just from the fandom's perspective, but also from the lens of emotions that can only be read through subtle signs. Because that's the language of love understood only by two people who communicate without words. A few days ago, Jimin once again shook our little world. He posted a short video on his Instagram stories. It looked simple on the surface, but as always, nothing is truly simple when it involves Jimin. On our screens, we saw a kitten being stroked gently. The image was warm, calm, and adorable. But that's not what made the video go viral and stir up a wave of unexpected emotions. What made this video different was the voice clearly heard in the background, Jungkook's. So, full of warmth. Jungkook quietly said, "Cute cat, I hope you're doing okay." At a glance, it sounds like an ordinary phrase. But not to those who followed the deepening dynamic between these two BTS members over the years. Behind that simple sentence lies an emotional resonance that feels profound. Not just because it was Jungkook's voice, but because of the atmosphere created in the video. Calm, intimate, like a private space accidentally opened for all of us to see. Fans immediately began to wonder, was the video taken recently? Were they together? Did this moment happen before Jungkook returned to Korea? Those questions spun around in ARMY's minds, because, once again, this wasn't just a video about a cat. This was a tiny fragment of a connection built on years of mystery, quiet longing, and unspoken love, the bond called Jikook. Jimin is known for how he says so much without speaking directly. He is an artist of subtle expression. Every post, though seemingly spontaneous, often holds layers of meaning. And when Jungkook is part of it, even if it's just his voice, we know it's not a coincidence. Not long after the video was posted, discussions across the fandom lit up. Some felt strong emotions, others questioned the context, and of course, some tried to rationalize everything as mere coincidence. But those who've truly paid attention know, Jimin and Jungkook have their own language. A way of communicating that doesn't need long speeches or explanations. Just one soft voice and a gentle stroke of a kitten, and their world opens up to us, little by little. Was this the first time they've been caught in such a moment? Absolutely not. But every time it happens, we're captivated, as if it were the very first time again. Maybe because their chemistry never feels forced. They're not performing a role. They're just being themselves, and that's what makes everything feel so genuine. A while after the video was posted, fans were taken by surprise by a small moment at the airport. Jungkook had just landed, and a reporter suddenly mentioned Jimin's name as he walked by. Jungkook's reaction? Just a small smile, so brief and light, yet so deep. That smile instantly became the focus. Some called it a polite smile. But fans who followed them for years knew it was a meaningful one. A smile from someone who just heard the name of someone important in his life. Not a scoff, not a formality. It was a smile that came out naturally, reflexively, and honestly. Some say their relationship is just a simple friendship. But if we're being honest, looking at everything that's happened, all the small interactions, the gazes, the unforced laughter, it's hard to deny that there's something more. Take, for example, when they're at the airport together. Cameras may be everywhere, fans may be screaming hysterically, but Jimin and Jungkook always seem to have their own little space. The way they walk side by side, adjusting their steps, or even just turning to smile at each other, it all feels so natural. And beyond that, their body language changes when they're together. There's a calmness in Jimin that only appears when Jungkook is beside him. And likewise, Jungkook, known for his high energy and liveliness, can appear completely at peace with Jimin nearby. Not long ago, Jungkook posted a close-up of his face on Weverse. At first glance, it seemed like a casual post. Sleepy face, amused smile, no heavy filters. But those who are attuned know, that kind of photo is the kind you send to someone who makes you feel safe. And who has made Jungkook feel the most at ease all these years, if not Jimin? Maybe the photo wasn't meant directly for Jimin, but the vibe was the same, relaxed, honest, and unguarded. As if Jungkook was simply being himself. No celebrity mask, no forced perfection. Some people, especially fans of other pairings like Jikook, often try to compare the dynamics between Jungkook and Jimin to others. But the truth is, not all relationships are meant to be compared. Jungkook and Taeyong may be close, but Jungkook and Jimin have a different frequency. Deeper, more personal, more peaceful. When Jungkook arrives at the airport alone, it's not a big deal. But when he's with Jimin, we often see them waiting for each other. Even in the middle of a crowd. They don't need to seek attention. They're simply together. And that's enough. They read each other, even in silence. Jimin and Jungkook's relationship isn't one filled with drama or emotional outbursts. And that's where its strength lies. They read each other. They understand one another, even when no words are spoken. Jimin knows when to pull back, when to give space. Jungkook knows when to step closer, when to offer support. Between them exists a silence that isn't awkward. A silence that feels like home. That's the kind of closeness that can't be faked. It doesn't need public confirmation, because they already know its worth. Small moment, big love. And that's why the cat video felt so meaningful. Because behind that soft petting, and the gentle voice offering a simple hope, lies a small world that only they can understand, and those of us sensitive enough to feel it. To the outside world, it's just a cute video. But to hearts that know, it's a reminder, love doesn't always arrive in grand hugs, sweet words, or official declarations. Sometimes, love is a voice that slips into the background. A voice that wasn't planned. But because of that, it feels most real. And if they never confirm anything, that's okay. Because we know. Because we see. And because sometimes, the most genuine things don't need to be announced, only felt. If you were one of those who watched that video and suddenly felt a strange warmth in your chest without knowing why, then know that you're not alone. We all felt something that words can't quite explain. And in a world full of noise, that tiny video reminded us that true love often lives in the quiet. Because Jimin and Jungkook don't need to say, "We're together." They only need to be themselves, and that's enough to make the whole world believe. So, was the video a statement? A coincidence? Or just two people sharing a calm, comfortable space? Maybe we'll never know for sure. And maybe we're not meant to know, but to feel. In a world full of loud assumptions and interpretations, Jimin and Jungkook always choose the quiet path. They've never spoken much about them. But every step, every smile, and every background voice in a short clip like this is enough to make us feel they belong to each other. Because true love doesn't always need a spotlight. Sometimes, it hides behind a passing voice in an Instagram story. Sometimes, it lives in a smile when someone hears a familiar name. And sometimes, it's only visible to those who look with their hearts. If you felt something while watching that video, you're not alone. We all felt it too. And that's the magic of Jikook, not because they said, "We're together," but because every little moment between them is enough to make us believe. Thank you for watching today's episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a magical moment from Jimin and Jungkook. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the video was just about the cat? Or was it about two hearts quietly speaking to one another? Because here at Jikook Magic, every second matters.